Can you just share with us a little bit about how many employees work here on the farm, and what is there? Just sort of walk us through the year as far as numbers during the summer versus the winter.
So,
like that.
Michelle McKenzie is a full-time year-round, and myself are full-time. Michelle's helps me manage the farm. And then we have a house on the farm that we can have 3 folks live in during the season, and they start March and go to November.
And are they interns, Jimmy, or they're employees, or?
So we've phrased it as interns before. The folks who are in the house are going to get a much more immersive experience because they're the core of our crew, and we try to do in the spring and the fall. We'll do a lot more kind of sit down, go over our budget, go over our crop plans, greenhouse schedules, soil tests, and do some in-depth talking. But it's mostly work, that they're doing.
And is it competitive? I mean, do you have like an application process? I would think that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just think that it would be hard to carry people from year to year, because I would think that lots of people would want to hey, it's my turn. Like I want to. I want to be here.
Well, it's amazing. Like we get, probably 40 applicants for 3 spots. But it's really worth it for us to bring people back if it's worth it for them. Okay. And so. Once we find people that are really good fits, we want to hold on to them.
And where do you, do you send out notices? What networks do you send your...
Same, like PASA, NOFA, ATRA is a big one. And then just word of mouth too.
Okay.
Especially once we get into like the local workers, they'll have a friend who's looking for a job then. And so that's worked out real nice for us. And then it's nice if we can find people locally, because like a lot of our local folks will come back year to year. So that's been really nice to have long relationships with people.
How do you set up your work days? So is there like a schedule, or is that, and I just know that at least from when I was working, we start off with something, but then of course it's a constant shuffle of, as weather changes or something else comes up. But so
that's the hardest part for I think everyone who works here is the way the day moves, especially. So I feel like what we're looking for are people who can hang with us long enough so they understand like why things work the way they work. So when someone starts here, I think it's very hard for them because we don't have a morning meeting where we're like, we're going to do this, this, and this, because I don't know what we're going to do. It depends on if the truck works or if, if there's cucumber beetles on the cucumber, So what we do have is this board outside with morning chores on it. That's our static. It's the same every day. And people come in for the first hour, they just put a check mark next to what they're doing. And so the first hour, that gives me time to kind of take stock of what's going on that day, who we have, what their moods are, what equipment is ready. And then after that, we will generally go out and harvest or do a big weed together. And then we'll just roll from there into split up different tasks or into big group tasks. So it's not very. That's why if people really like structure, it's hard for them because especially in the beginning, because they just don't get it. It's like, what's going on? Why are we? But then it starts to make sense because the farm just kind of tells you what needs to be done, And so once they get into the sync of the farm and what our market schedules are and what it makes a lot more sense and they can get to do it. But in the spring it's always hard because it's like, okay, this is how everything works now, ready, set, wait, because it's not we don't open for another month and a half, so that's the difficult part. And I sympathize with folks, but it's also just the way it is.
Right.
Like right now, the crew we have is doing awesome, and they've gotten it, and they're into the swing of it all.
What about when the interns or the folks that have the housing arrangement and new people are coming on? Is there any? Is it sort of the people that have been here from year to year to just sort of take the newbies under their wing? Is there kind of a is there? I don't know. Just can you talk?
We do. Yeah, we do like
or an orientation.
We do an orientation for about 3 days, where the first day all morning long we'll talk about the different schedules we have, the field and greenhouse schedules, and how to read them, and kind of just the goals of the farm, the kind of minimum requirements that we have of everyone, and some safety stuff, and then we'll do like seating in the greenhouse for the afternoon where we're all working together.
Okay.
And then the next day we'll do a tour of the farm. We'll do like the wash station protocols and something else in the morning, and then we'll do a work thing in the afternoon. We'll do that for like 3 or 4 days to get through a lot of information. And then we will do some of that kind of like folks who have been here for a while. We'll take a group out to start doing the chores with them, and generally we'll have like at that time of year we'll have like construction projects. We'll have 4 people work together on a construction project and just start people working together in groups, and just get that communication going with everyone, and then we go from there into starting to plan. So there's the kind of real formal orientation we have, and then we try to continue that in informal ways for a couple weeks, and then we just hope that it takes shape. Well, I would say like labor is definitely the most important part of what I do, and it's also one of the most challenging parts, because you've got so many different personalities and so many different needs and desires and agendas, and what you're trying to do is just get them to come together to do the job that we're trying to do that day on the farm, and also hopefully help them move along in their own goals.